Hello, welcome to Musher's Tales. Today's episode is making a fire in the snow. Making a fire in the snow is a little bit tricky in the sense that snow is water, and obviously if your fire touches water, it's not going to burn very well. This is how I do it. The first step is to decide the purpose of your fire. Is it to stay warm all night? Is it just to give you a pick-me-up? Is it to create ambiance? Is it to heat up a sandwich? Is it just to warm your hands? Or is it just to give you something to do while you're waiting? All those things will decide what kind of fire you're going to make and how much prep you need. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to make a small fire, warm up your hands, maybe heat up a bit of water. First thing is location. You want to be out of the wind. You also want to have fairly solid footing. So right now the snow is about 3 feet deep. So I'm on a skidoo trail. And it's a good spot. I'm right by the house actually, because I have everything I need right here without going too far. And if I wasn't near a skidoo trail, well, I would tap down an area with my snowshoes and make everything fairly flat. Reason why, so you can move around and be steady on your feet without always filling up your boots full of snow. So there's a safety reason there. Also, so that your fire doesn't melt down too much. I mean, obviously the heat of your fire is going to melt the snow underneath it, and if it melts the snow too quickly or it gets too wet because the snow is too soft and fluffy, well then your fire will go out that much faster. Another factor is looking above. Try to make sure that there's nothing above you, such as branches full of snow that are going to fall down once the heat goes up and put out your fire. That's kind of important too. You do not want to be underneath anything. You want to be out of the wind, but you don't want any overhead snow to be able to fall on your fire. For the wood, what you're looking for is something like this. That one tree will provide enough wood to easily heat a mug of tea. So what do we need? I'll show you what's handy. So this is pretty basic. I like to have a drop cloth in winter, in summer too actually, and a kneeling pad or butt pad because snow's cold. Also, it's to keep things dry. I mean, you're trying to make a snow. You're making a fire on snow, so the drier you can keep things, the easier it's going to be. Silky saw, knife, pair of gloves, a couple of fire starters, and the old Zippo. So the first thing is cut the tree. Okay. Best description I ever heard for fire construction is that you build a fire. You don't make a fire, you build a fire. And it just so happens this tree has everything we need. You have the fine stuff, getting bigger, getting bigger, getting bigger. And we have the big stuff. Everything we need. First thing to do is collect all the fine stuff, put it on your drop cloth. Try to keep your small stuff dry. Next step, cut up your tree in lengths. In summertime, you can usually find somewhere to brace your tree to be able to cut it. Wintertime, not so easy. So one way to do it is pinching the tree behind your leg. So by pinching your tree behind your leg, you can hold it steady, as you saw. So it's pinched behind my leg, and as you saw. Stops everything from swirling around. Once you've sawn off those first 2 or 3 pieces, and you don't have to saw them all the way through, just saw them enough so you can snap it. You have your little shelter, your little brace, so you can saw without jamming it behind your leg. My wood's cut, piled according to size, small, medium, and large. The large is a bit in the snow. It doesn't matter because the large is going to be the base of my fire to keep my fire off of the snow. So the next thing to do is to pick out a piece of wood that's going to act like a baton, like something to hit your knife with to split your wood. So you want something that's going to feel pretty good. Something like this. I'll clean it up a bit, and it's going to be what I'm going to club my knife with to split my wood smaller. So splitting your wood with a knife goes really well. Safer than with an axe or anything. If you have an axe, you could use it, obviously. Just an axe is heavy to carry, and you have more danger of injuring yourself with an axe than with a knife and a saw. Okay, especially a hatchet. You know, a hatchet ends up in your knee really quickly because the handle's so short. If you have a long handle on your hatchet, well, it's safer. You know, let's say they call it a boy's axe. 2.5 pound head on a 24-inch handle. That's a nice axe. If you are going to use a hatchet, try doing it kneeling down as opposed to standing up, because then you'll hit the ground before hitting your kneecap. So, batoning your wood. This is my piece what I'm going to hit my wood with, and some of the split stuff. And again, your goal is to make this smaller. I don't know if this can be seen in the camera. Basically what you're doing is you're going to be hitting on the back of your knife with that piece of wood. Again, try to keep your stuff as much as you can out of the snow. The longer your piece, excuse me, a little bit more you got to split it. And the smaller you split it, the better your fire is going to go. Especially you want it nice and dry. My wood split. Time to lay out the fire. Something to remember, the less branches the wood you split has, the easier it is to split with a knife. Okay, when it's very near the end. Okay, well actually so let's say if you're splitting, you have around this to go through, that's not much fun. I mean, if you cut it here with a saw and you split from there to there, it'll split very, very easily. But this little part here will be a problem. So obviously what you do is you start up here, it'll split down to there, and then you just snap it and you leave that as it is. So you have one piece with this stuff on it, and the other piece is a nice split piece, looking something like this. Now your fire needs a base, which is what your big pieces are for. So if it was windy, you'd compress your snow and you'd have a bit of a bank there. And the reason why you'd have a bank there would be to cut any wind. It can't be too deep. If it's too deep, sometimes it's as if the fire can't get enough oxygen. It doesn't seem to burn as well. So you lay your pieces out. And what you're doing is you're making somewhere to put your fire. There we go. Try to make them as close together as possible, because the only thing this does is to hold your fire and hold your coals. Might burn, probably won't burn. It's just to keep you off the ground. So that's why you put your biggest, wettest pieces there. Well, wettest, less dry pieces. You don't really want any wet pieces. Here we go. Next, make your fire. I use commercially bought fire starters. Just handy. I mean, you could use your birch bark, you can use anything you want. But this is quick. And it works. Also, I'm a fan of lighters. Just they're light, they're fast, they're reliable. Even in iffy weather, as long as you have enough fuel, Zippo always works. Something to hold my twigs up. Try to put your twigs in your split pieces so that when the twigs burn down, everything's going to fall on those logs. Once you hear a crackle, it's a good sign. This is what I have left of the wood from the tree. So right away you have this. Okay, if you have your water on the edge of that or on a tripod or something, you're in business. If you wanted this to burn all night, you obviously need a lot more wood, but you just keep on adding to it, larger and larger pieces, and your fire will grow and stay on the bed of coals. So I just put all the last of the wood on, and as you can see, this is all kinds to heat something. I mean, you could put your little tin cup right here to heat it up. And besides a little bit of soot in it, if you don't have a cover, you'd be piping hot in a hurry. So this is all kinds to heat up a sandwich, or to boil some water. I figure this is about a 15-minute fire. It'll go like this for maybe 15 minutes, maybe a half hour. But I mean, if we're really spitting out the heat right now with this softwood, you got about 15 minutes, which is all kinds of time. It takes longer to prepare. Okay, it takes maybe a half hour total, start to finish for this fire. And obviously it's going to burn out because it's on water. Hope somebody finds this useful. Thanks for watching. Till next time.